Melbourne town where the suits all grind. There's a lawyer with a vision, one of a kind. He's the Aussie Overlaw'd. He'll fight for your rights, and he's got his own
Ooh, I really got to change that splash screen too.
From the courtroom to the web, he's got it all. Sharing legal knowledge and
make sure the audio's going through.
He breaks it down in a language we all understand. The Aussie Overlaw'd taking a stand. With his Aussie charm and his legal know-how, he's the hero we need, showing us how. He fights for justice, no case too tough. The Aussie Overlaw'd, he's more than enough.
I will say that it is one thing that I hate about Rumble Studio is that they don't give you much control over the audio.
He's more than enough.
Anyway. Remove that so the camera's actually there.
In Melbourne town where the suits all grind, there's a lawyer with a
And good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome back to the Aussie Overlaw'd channel. Hope you're doing well, folks. More to the point, hope you can hear me, because I have no clue, because as usual, Rumble Studio just doesn't have the features that I'd really like it to. But hey, I'm just going to keep bitching and moaning until they fix shit. It's been a reasonably big week. Haven't been able to stream more this week than I would have liked to, but I mean, a Friday night, I'm at least on the card, so that's good. Good sound. Thank you very much. Very happy to hear that. Most recently, as of 8 hours ago, the federal court has handed down its decision in the Tickle v. Giggle appeal. So apparently now there's a whole well, they've taken the dictionary definition of a woman and thrown it out the window. So we'll have a look at that, or we'll have a careful look at that, because I have no intention of getting myself cancelled over this shit. What else was there? Coles has officially lost its case against the ACCC, so their down, prices are down campaign that they had. Yeah, they've gotten a massive rap over the knuckles for that. For some reason, they think it's a good idea that they're going to make a statue of Dan Andrews, who was the Victorian Premier for like 9 years. I don't really care how long you've been in Parliament for. When you are one of the chief architects of the downfall of a state, I kind of feel like you shouldn't actually be getting a statue just because you managed to be in power for a period of time. Kind of feel like you need to be, judged on your actual leadership abilities, shall we say. Um, we've also got a 14-year-old girl getting. Oh, you know what? I'm going to change the phrasing on that. We've got a 14-year-old girl who had 109 charges against her dropped because Jacinta Allen's adult time for adult crime laws are really conflicting with the age of innocence thing, and a magistrate has basically just turned around and said, "No, the law specifically says that we have to let her off." So we'll have a look at that. Um, what else was there? Oh, and yes, a Victorian mother is under investigation after she sent her uh, challenged child to school wearing a recording device to actually work out exactly what the hell was going on at the school, and they didn't really appreciate that. So we'll have a look at the news article on that one. But as with most Friday nights, what I'm looking for is to see if we can track down some news stories that I can turn into videos for the coming week, and just have a little bit of fun and decompress. So, getting rage baited this morning? Probably not. I mean, if we get to playing agree, we might, but we'll have to wait and see. Um, did you briefly cover the girl with the 100+ charges? I think I talked about that last week, and I was going to turn that into a video, but almost all major news outlets decided to cover it in the last 24 hours. So, um, the video that I was going to put out was basically a breakdown of Dolai Incapacts, which is the mental incapacity of children, so the inability to ascertain right from wrong. And I'm sorry, if they're getting handcuffed and they're screaming Latin phrases so that the court can recognize it, I think they're old enough to know right from wrong and that they know exactly what they're doing. Um, but anyway, hello, Dazza, how you been, mate? Where are we? Jason, always good to see you. Lady Bama, don't stay up on my account if you don't need to. Dance Mum, hello. Glennis, I am doing okay, or I'm okay now, because, let's go off on a little bit of a rant to start with, shall we? I had a very long day at work. I've been dealing with some shit at work, which basically is just, you know, it's the bad side of financial lending and assisting people and, trying to help people as much as you can. Well, there are individuals out there that obviously are always willing to take advantage of that. And I've been trying desperately to try and sort one out that is really causing some financial hardship. And long story short, it was a tough day at work. So I came through the door to the house, in through the garage, whatever else. Not that any of that really matters. Wanted to give my child a nice big hug and cuddle and say hello to the wife, give her a cuddle too, squeeze her the butt, all that sort of stuff. But what I came into was a distressed child, a pissed off wife, and a story that I'm very, very unhappy about. Oh, hang on, what's this? If you've got the turkey loaf, you might as well have it, Jason. Always makes for a good meal. A wild Aussie appeared. So little lady Overlaw'd's been having trouble with one specific kid in her class. Based on the timing of when he entered the school, I'm willing to bet that he was removed from another school previously. That's my own personal opinion. I have nothing to back that up. That's just my own opinion. But from what I can gather, there's been multiple instances over the last 2 weeks where he's, for lack of a better term, been terrorizing the class, and I'm assuming that there's some sort of extraneous circumstances there because the teachers seem to be looking the other way and not really doing anything. But when I got home today and I saw exactly how ropeable Lady Overlaw'd was, I figured this one probably must have gone a little bit further. And as it turns out, what had happened was that this kid had basically terrorized my daughter and her friend to the point where they hid in the girls' toilets, and he stood outside the toilets making throat-slitting gestures. They actually managed to escape the toilets, were basically chased onto the school oval, where a number of other boys decided it was necessary for them to intervene and pick up sticks to protect everybody. Now, this all sounds like really, when you say it all out loud like this, because I'm sort of paraphrasing, it sort of sounds like, kids being kids and that sort of thing. Um, Except I don't send my daughter to school to be terrorized. And I was pretty fucking pissed off. Unfortunately, given that it was after 7 o'clock when I got home, I didn't really have any sort of an outlet for that. But needless to say, come Monday morning, the principal's going to be getting a meeting, and it won't necessarily be from Scarlett's father as opposed to her lawyer. Because I'm a little sick and tired of this, because my understanding is that it blew up enough that the girls then ran to their classroom and hid with their teacher, who was quite aghast at the fact that the kids had already informed multiple senior members of staff who had basically either ignored it or dismissed it. And my understanding is at least one of the kids got kicked in the balls by this kid. So, not particularly happy, if I'm perfectly honest. And that's putting it very, very mildly. I'm glad that my daughter's friend's father was there in my stead, because apparently he was very ropeable. Lady Overlaw'd, it sounds like she wanted to tear some strips off the senior management at the school, because they seem to be explaining it away as, oh, this kid has issues and there needs to be accommodations made. With everything that's come out in the last year, I kind of feel like that maybe you shouldn't be allowing one child to terrorize another when they have their own issues. Like, are we literally at a point where we're balancing who's more like who's had more of a fucked up situation? In which case, to me, I feel like heads should roll. But anyway, that's a not so eloquent way of me putting it, because Lady Overlaw'd would like me to write a letter on Glacier Legal letterhead, directed towards senior management at the school, because it really does sound like it was handled extraordinarily poorly. But as I said, I don't send my daughter to school to have her life threatened. Now, I don't really care if the little shit was joking around or whatever else. It was serious enough that she started crying, and like she genuinely thought that he was going to follow through. Which, again, she's 7. I mean, you don't know with kids, but it pissed me the fuck off, basically. So, but anyway, that's my little rant. What was I going to say? Thank you to everyone that's been watching when I have been streaming. I promise I am going to try and get into a little bit more of a habit of it. I've just been so fucking dog tired as well. I'm thinking I'm going to go and get a blood test, honestly, because I'm not sure if it's like low iron or if I'm just low in vitamins or whatever else. But no way should there be any consideration for any challenges who do that to other children. Yeah, well, that's kind of where I'm sitting at. Like 10 years ago, similar situation happened with my son at elementary school. After I got done, the school district knows I don't play around. I'll bet, Jason. I will bet. Sounds like he should have been swallowed. Well, shit, what was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not sure if it's related. In fact, I think it's probably not related, but let's just say there's circumstances that have meant that Mel and I are not sleeping well either, which, coupled with the 4 hours of driving most days, is not doing me any good. But I think it's probably a good idea if I just get a general checkup. And so this is a gentle reminder to all of you watching. If you're feeling a little bit out of sorts, go and get yourself looked at, because the fuck is that? When did that? I was messing around with like Ko-Fi and Buy Me a Coffee and all this sort of shit. I don't understand why this is here. This should not be here. Hey, Temple's Game Music, how are you? Good to see you. How has no? Okay, so it's definitely part of the. Hang on, one sec. I was messing around with various things because I was trying to find a way to because I'm still at least like 900 hours on this channel from being able to monetize and that sort of thing. So I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe I'll try. It's been there all stream, but I couldn't see it. Okay, hang on. Maybe if I mean, is it less invasive as down? If it, no, you know, what, I'm just gonna turn it off. Probably won't be here long. 7:30 a.m. No, fair enough. See you, Wim. There we go. I'll just turn it off. Screw that up. Where are you? Camera. That's fine. Yeah, I was messing around with like Ko-fi and Buy Me a Coffee and all that sort of stuff. But what I was trying to work out is how to get it to be included in the side chats and for me to be able to bring it up and that sort of thing. They make it ridiculously difficult, you know. None of the other platforms really have the integration that like super chats and rumble rants and all that sort of shit had. Like I looked at super tips and I understand there's a lot of fucking controversy behind that because I think that's Patrick Melton's platform. And for obvious reasons, I wouldn't want to be supporting that. But at the same time, it's like the only thing outside of super chats and rumble rants. And when you're doing whatever, it's just pain in the fucking backside. Have you heard about Emily Wilson's revisionist translation of the Odyssey? No. Hang on. Wilson Odyssey. The Odyssey, translated by Emily Wilson. 2017 translation of Homer's Odyssey by British-American classicist Emily Wilson. Oh, this isn't going to end well. Professor at the University of Pennsylvania preserved the original Homeric Greek line count and reflected its tradition. Employing traditional translation uses simple syntax. Oh, she just looks like a barrel of laughs, doesn't she? Don't do that. The doctors will tell you of a debilitating immune issue that destroys your life. Happened to me, but no, in all seriousness, get checked out. Don't let them put you on statin. Okay. I don't get it. Why am I looking at this? Is this the one? Is this the one that they based the new movie off of, or am I thinking is this something separate? Because I have no intention of watching Elliot Page in whatever the fuck that shit is. It's the basis for the Odyssey movie by Christopher Nolan. Okay, so that is what it's about. Because like nothing about that movie looks in any way intriguing to me. Like, from when people don't understand history, try to reinterpret history by changing all the words. Sounds about right. I mean, how many different versions of the New Testament do we have at this point? At this point, I think Christopher Nolan just needs to put the bottle down, if I'm honest. Hey, Shuri. So, for those of you that don't know, Elon Musk's getting stuck into it as well. Christopher Nolan defends the Odyssey armor after online backlash. I think that you've got bigger fish to fry than the armor. You've got Elliot Page playing fucking what's his name? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be horrific anyway. Matt Damon as Odysseus, Tom Holland. See, Helen of Troy. That's just it's not even remotely accurate. She's playing Achilles. Okay, they are playing Achilles. I don't know. I don't care because I'm not going to be fucking watching this. I love that Elliot Page though is not yet credited with the name of the character. That's hilarious though. Nolan's a spineless twat. Really seems like it. Not a single Mediterranean in the mix. Yeah, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And I can't, like, who out of it, well, actually, Charlize Theron's Calypso might be the only decent thing in there. Because Anne Hathaway's gone downhill lately as well, so I'm not really big on that. But I mean, you've got varying grades of Hollywood twink as the main leading men in this as well. Like Matt Damon is probably the most masculine out of them, and that's not saying a lot because then you got fucking Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson. I'm sorry, I was never happier than seeing fucking Pattinson get hit by the Avada Kedavra in the Goblet of Fire, okay? And Tom Holland, I don't mind Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but he's very obviously not like. Did I see the clip where they replaced Brad Pitt? I did. I saw that like earlier today, and I can't with that shit. And the other one was where they put Elliot Page's face on what's his name from 300. And you've got Elliot Page screaming, "This is Sparta!" And I'm just like, for fuck's sake. Hell of the Hood. I'm sorry. It's not a face that launched 1,000 ships, as they say. And of course, because Tom Holland's in the movie, you gotta have Zendaya as well. I swear to God, between Zendaya and Pedro Pascal, I'm over it. Really am. Odyssey's a Greek epic and there are 0 Africans mentioned by Homer in it. Well, don't know why they cast Matt Damon as Odysseus. Matt Damon! He doesn't look like Odysseus and he's too old for the role. Yep. The movie's gonna flop and rightfully so. I keep hoping, and I know that I get my hopes up and it's unfounded, it's unwarranted or whatever else, but I keep hoping that we're going to see the end of this DEI bullshit. But I'm assuming that they have to keep churning out the movies or the productions that were that were midway through, basically. And I just the Pit one's hilarious. Look, we'll have to agree to disagree. I didn't think it was particularly funny. It was more depressing than anything else. Ooh, Cersei. Hello. Okay. Hey, Drone. You might see it as a hate watch. The only way I sit through this is on Sunday afternoon if it's free to air and there is literally nothing else on. I would rather sit and watch. You know what? No, I'm not going there. They've so run out of ideas at this point. Well, I mean, all they're doing is going back and rehashing shit. Because, I mean, sure, there is nothing new under the sun. But you can actually create your own stories. Are we talking about the same clip? Paige gets speared by Nathan Jones. Yeah. To be fair, I watched it without the sound on, so I don't know if it's funnier. I don't really care about seeing Elliot Page get skewered, okay? I'm sure they've taken it a couple of times in a few different ways. It's not my cup of tea. I can't stand their face anymore. Playing Forza Horizon 6, looking forward to playing since Microsoft announced it. Oh, well, congratulations. You know nothing about the movie, Sheree? You are happier not knowing at this point. Like, really. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that it does that. No. Huh. Why isn't Mia Goth playing Helen? No clue. Honestly. Really no clue. It's It's horrific. It's a horrific casting all around. It's their honestly. It feels like they're just trying to rewrite history at this point. And I think it's very much being done deliberately. But it does look like people are cracking the shits, and it's about fucking time. I think people have had enough of this whole blending of, well, not even blending of cultures, overriding of culture. And I'm just not just talking about like white culture. We're seeing like European culture just being diluted, and I think people are just sick and tired of it. I mean, look at what happened with the local elections in the UK over the last week or so. There's, the last I looked, they were saying that it's going to be, it's a rough shot as to whether or not Starmer even survives the week or something. Which, as a straight white male who's a lawyer, I would love nothing more than to punch him in the face. Need a return of moral relativism in analysis. Yeah. Waiting for PA5 release date. Can't wait. Okay. Hey, Divins. Getting ready to leave for dialysis and dropped in to say howdy. Well, hello to you too. Hopefully you have a good day on dialysis. I mean, I know, I assume that's a little bit hit and miss, but hopefully it does you some good. Oh god, so yeah, I mean the Odyssey. Well, I mean there's nothing really particularly odd about it aside from the entire casting and the way that they're just trying to destroy shit. Really, I'll say Mortal Kombat 2 was great. Turn the absurdity up so much. I haven't watched the remake of number 1. I'm not sure if I want to. I'm kind of a traditionalist in that I loved the campy original movies, so. But haven't watched TV in 3 years. Well, good on you. The content hunt there. The opportunity for an abbreviation there. Why do you think I did it? No, but I mean, I'm sure that so much of this shit is deliberately just done for rage bait. And look at this. They're saying that it's number 5 in the rankings. Like, I call absolute bullshit. What do we got? Michael Jackson biography, Mortal Kombat 2, Remarkably Bright Creatures, Devil Wears Prada, followed by the Odyssey. It isn't even fucking out yet, and they reckon that it's in the top 5. Apparently, Project Hail Mary was pretty good. I haven't. Oh, good. The Sheep Detective is getting good reviews. I very much do want to watch that. Mortal Kombat 1 reboot was terrible. There's a reason they're changing direction with the sequel. Okay. He's doing a feminist reimagination of the Odyssey. Yes. Pretty much. And, yeah, no, it's just irritating. And, I mean, look, forgive me for talking about cartoons here for a minute, but, like, for someone that enjoys Gundam, which, let's face it, it's fairly fucking obvious. I had been sticking to my guns and watching the original dub version of Gundam Seed, like, on the original DVDs, okay? I keep these handy in case I'm ever having a bad day and I just want to watch some fun. Today, I started watching the remaster that was put out. And I get that some of the remaster was done because they wanted to update some of the language. They wanted to. They replaced all of the voice characters. They what do you call it? Well, I mean, it was an upscale remaster, and sitting listening to the voices, the new voice cast, just irritated the fuck out of me. And, like, it was just like nails on a chalkboard listening to it and going, no, that's not how this person's supposed to sound. No, they've completely rewritten that line. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't... I can't even handle it when they rewrite bits of my favorite show, let alone, like, Watch sub. Well, the sub DVDs are over there. I've had those since I was like 14. Um, they pulled a Netflix Evangelion. Oh. It, it's more just because I was so used to like the lines from the TV show, hearing them changed specifically to fit a purpose, and watching them change one of the main characters to be more girl bossy irritated the shit out of me. And it's just like, you know, name 3 cartoons that Hollywood destroyed. I'll go first: Transformers, Scooby Doo, and He Man. Um, Well, the trouble is that I can't really think how many of them were ruined by Hollywood, but I mean, I can say how many of them were ruined in subsequent generations. I wasn't a fan of the latest seasons of Ben 10. What they did to the Powerpuff Girls in more recent years was horrific. Um, for the Ocean dub of DBZ, even think the abridged cast are better than the Funimation cast. Yeah, no, that's fair. Actually, to be fair, I only just started watching Super as well. Actually, I think I'm about halfway through it now. It's amazing how many episodes you can get through when you like um just having it on in the background. So oh, sorry, I know that a lot of you probably didn't come here for that, but let's face it, it's a part of who I am, so I'm going to talk about it occasionally. The fact that my friends actually wanted to watch Gundam Seed because it is my favorite series, I thought that was pretty freaking awesome of them, if I'm perfectly honest. Um, it just sucks that the only version that's available that we could all watch is the remastered version. And to be honest, I really just wanted to build a Gunpla when I got home. Dragon Ball Z was your favorite? Well, there you go. Shit, what else was I going to say? I think I'll do that for the second. That was a nice little tangent there. So, all right, let's start with this one. Police investigating mum over hidden listening device at a school. The mother of a non-verbal child is under police investigation after she sent her son to school with a secret listening device in a bid to find out why he kept coming home with bruises. If you legitimately are at the point, frankly, you should try to get on Flashcast. I would be so fucking out of my depth on Flashcast. I talk about various things that I like, but I do not know that I do well on a panel that goes that in depth on shit. So, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, if you get to the point where you are having to put a listening device onto your non-verbal child to work out where and when they are being abused by somebody, I think you've got bigger problems on whether or not it's illegal for you to strap the listening device to them. She claims she was trying to protect her 7-year-old who lives with autism and epilepsy after she noticed multiple unexplained injuries on his body. She said that they were obtained while he was attending primary school, prompting her to place the hidden gadget in her son's pocket every morning between June and October of 2025. In Victoria, it's a criminal offence to use a listening device to record a private conversation that you are not part of without the consent of every participant. Well, to be fair... Oh, well, I suppose he's non-verbal, so it's not like he can really be part of the conversation. But the 36-year-old who was questioned by police last week believes that she had no other choice. She now faces a possible legal battle with police set to charge her after she pulled her son out of the school over the claims of what she heard on the audio. This is an instance where the cops need to pull their heads out of their asses. Are you fucking kidding me? If there is sufficient evidence on those audios for her to be concerned for the well-being of her child and she's being lied to, I think maybe you should be turning a blind eye to how the recordings were obtained. My 7-year-old came home from his last primary school in bruises, she wrote in a Facebook group. I had no other choice but to put a listening device in his clothes while he was attending that particular school. It resulted in me facing charges for protecting my son. She went on to write after hearing the audio that she promptly pulled the young boy out and placed him in a different school. I've been asked numberless? Are you suggesting the cops have low IQs there too? Well, maybe. Who remembers Butt Ugly Martians? I remember the name, but I don't remember what it was about. My kid had already had bruises. I'd take them out of whatever institution he was in rather than bug him, which exposes the kid to further abuse. I think in her instance, given that he was so special needs, she was probably trying to work out whether or not people were doing it to him or if it was something that he was doing himself. I presume she's already made inquiries of the school to work out what's going on, and she's just getting nowhere, which pretty well par for the course at this point, in my opinion. I've been asked numberless times, and just say countless times, of whether I would do it again if I knew I was charged, and the answer is yes. Look, I would probably do the exact same thing. Think any mother or parent would self-sacrifice to protect their own. Yep. I love this. They've covered their own asses. News.com.au is not suggesting the school is responsible for the child's bruises. Probably because they haven't actually gotten copies of the audio, I would think. Ms. Cooper is now calling on the Department of Education to introduce greater protections for neurodiverse children, writing, please stand behind me so we can make changes. Sweetheart, they are not going to support you. I can promise you that right now. I just think the education department should take responsibility for what's happening, she told 9 News. They should really concentrate on what's really happening in these school systems. The Department of Education said the safety of students at the schools is a priority, both the department and the educators. Fuck right off. We always urge parents and carers to raise any safety concerns directly with the school so that they can be investigated fully. I'd be willing to bet that she's already raised this a number of times. You don't just wake up one morning and say, okay, my kid's got bruises, I'm going to stick a recording device on them. Like, you don't just miraculously come to that decision. Victoria Police told news.com.au that it had interviewed the woman as part of an investigation into a report of a listening device at the school between July and October 2025. 36-year-old woman was released pending further inquiries. Could you imagine if they demanded remand on that? Yes, we believe she's a danger to the community because she bugged her kid who was being abused at school, or allegedly abused at school. We absolutely need to make sure that she's held behind bars so that she doesn't expose anything. Jesus Christ. Investigation remains ongoing. We're unable to provide further details at this stage. No charge has been laid. No charges should be laid, in my opinion. GoFundMe page has since been set up by one of the Sun's support workers. To raise funds for the legal fees for the family at the center of the mess. That's just nuts to me. Like, I would absolutely... Hey, Kate, how you doing? There's got to be more to this. There has to be more to this. Like, I refuse to believe that she just woke up one morning and said, okay, I'm going to bug my kid. She has to have already have made inquiries of this school. She has to have already asked the teacher, why is he coming home? Why is my child coming home with bruises? Like, I mean, there's always the very rare possibility that she's just a complete nut of Karen. But I highly doubt it. I really do. I mean, no, she does have the nose ring, though. Chat, where do we think she rates on the hot crazy scale? Or should I say the crazy Karen scale? I imagine if something's amiss, it'd be other kids with unexplained bruises. That's a good point, actually. Government defending government. Pretty much is what you'd expect, so. Australia needs to harden the fuck up. Abso-friggin-lutely. School got its feelings hurt, now wants a fellow and government employees to defend them. Oh, hang on. We have video.
It's a sickening sight no parent ever wants to see. Suspicious finger-shaped bruises on your child's arm appearing one day after school. Sky Cooper's 7-year-old son is non-verbal, so in a desperate attempt to uncover the cause of the injury, the 36-year-old...
Okay, so I've got to ask, was this an isolated incident? Did you literally put the bug on him after a single incident? Because if that's the case, I may have to reevaluate. Maybe you are just crazy. I don't know.
Hid a listening device in his clothes.
I was hoping that I wouldn't find anything on it.
9 News is not reporting what Sky heard, but the ordeal prompted her to withdraw her son from primary.
They even muted out the name of the school. Okay, so that's interesting because what we actually have there is something that I made a video on that not that long ago, the sub judice rule. They're more than likely not allowed and are precluded from reporting what was actually contained on the recordings because the matter is potentially before the courts. Now, whether or not that's in relation to her case with the although I would think not, given that she doesn't have any charges against her, although it is technically from when she's first arrested. I'd be interested to know exactly what was on those tapes, but I can understand why they can't report it. Still want to know though.
Little did
Ooh.
she know her attempt to protect her son would backfire. She is expected to be charged after being questioned by police last week. In Victoria, it is a criminal offence to use a listening device to record a private conversation you are not a part of.
I think any mother would self-sacrifice to protect their child, and I've done that in this case.
I thought I paused that and it just went straight to Trump's face. I'm like, what the fuck?
Senators are currently looking over a request by the Trump administration.
Who or what is that? Skynews.com.au. Oh, okay. Anyway. You can bet it's not of class being forced to sing Kumbaya. Fair enough. They've been able to the conversations and still not report what was said. Oh, well, they've been able to listen to the conversations. Yeah, look, potentially. Which is probably why they knew whether or not they could actually report what the contents was. But a child cannot come home and report what was said. Exactly. And I think in that specific instance, particularly if she's not getting any answers out of the school as well, admittedly, this is a case where I do have to play devil's advocate. There are very clear progression as to what steps she should have taken. So if that is a single incident and she's then spent the next, 5 months bugging her kid, but it's the fact that what she heard on the tape was enough for her to drag the kid out of the school. So that to me says it caught something. So I'm just curious as to what that probably was. Private conversation with multiple adults present, or were they trying to argue that her child had a private conversation with a teacher? That's actually a damn good question. I would say that it would be irrelevant based on the phrasing of the law, because hang on, where is it? Surveillance Devices Act. Yeah, it's regulated by the Surveillance Devices Act of 1999, Victoria. One-party consent with important limits. In Victoria, it's generally lawful to use a listening device to record a private conversation if you are a participant. You must not install or use a device to overhear or record a private conversation that you are not part of. Even if the recording is lawfully made, there are separate rules that restrict communicating or publishing private conversations recorded by a device. In many cases, you may need the consent of each person recorded or a recognised legal justification. That might be the other reason why they couldn't report on it. So many children nowadays with autism. Well, see, the weird thing is, a lot of kids are being diagnosed as neurodivergent when, in my opinion, they're potentially not actually anyway. You're surrounded by Asian drivers. God, why are my eyes going fuzzy? I know it's been a long week, but I didn't think I was that tired. Jesus. Quite literally, my vision went blurry. God, I'm getting old. Remember when I used to be able to stay up to like 4 a.m. while we were doing trial streams and shit like that? I really need to get that blood test done. Especially because there's a couple of trials coming up now that I want to see if I can find the time to cover. God damn it. Welcome to old age. Thank you. So, I mean, this isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but it is worth covering. Coles, one of our two major supermarket chains here, has just lost in the federal court. The ACCC, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, has basically turned around and said, no, what you did was engage in misleading and deceptive practices, because what they were doing was that they would allegedly, because I haven't read through the article yet, but my understanding of it is that they would inflate the they'd inflate the prices and then like a week later put the discount thing on it saying down, prices are down, and showing it at a lower price that would still technically be higher than what the previous price was. So glad you're streaming on a Friday. I gotta go to work now. Sorry about that. Give me chocolate by Baby Metal's currently playing in the game radio. Made it to 7:55 a.m. there. Cool. When was your last blinding session? Not asking for a date. It might be time. You're interested in covering the Alex murder trial. Your Mo would make a great team. I don't think I've ever actually, like, engaged with Mo previously. As for the murder trial, I don't know that I want to commit to that, simply because the first time around, it bored me to fucking tears, because they turned a murder trial into a financial crimes trial. And that just irritated the hell out of me. Federal court found the majority of the pricing tickets submitted to the court were not offering genuine discounts and would have ordinarily misled a ordinary consumer. It was found that the supermarket giant did not sell the products at a higher price for long enough before putting them down. Called it. Supreme Court 9-0 rules trucking broker can be held responsible for using dangerous haulers. Okay. The light they shine into your eye to measure pressure. I haven't been to an optometrist in about 5 years, so probably not a bad idea if I go and get my eyes checked, actually. Holy fuck, you're making me feel like I'm ancient at this point. Like, I was giving Megan so much shit when she turned 50 the other week, and I'm like, well, holy fuck, I'm 35. If I live to 70, I'm already middle-aged. If I live to 80, I've got, what, 5 years before I'm middle-aged, if I'm lucky? Most of the financial crap got ruled as cumulative. Really? Or cumulative? Oh, okay, well, fingers crossed. Relax, whippersnapper. I don't feel like a fucking whippersnapper, I'll be perfectly honest. You seen the, like, there's a reason that I have to trim the beard now, because all this area here just goes completely grey. So. Supermarket giant Coles broke consumer law by misleading shoppers on discounted pricing. The ACCC sued Coles, alleging that it misled shoppers with fake discounts on hundreds of common household items under its prominent Down promotional campaign. Judge O'Brien handed down his judgment in Melbourne this morning, finding that 13 of the 14 tickets submitted to the court, the discount was not genuine and would have misled an ordinary customer. 63 and a half. I'm a whippersnapper. Maybe it's a tumor? Jesus Christ. Thank you. I think I'd rather just be old. They were misleading because the relevant products were not sold at the was price stated on the ticket for a reasonable period, and as a consequence, the discount represented on the ticket was not genuine. So yeah, so basically what they'd do is they'd come along, put the price up for a short period of time where they know no one's going to buy it, and then reduce it to a higher price than what it previously was, but lower than what it was just advertised at, to show that you're supposedly getting a discount. Well, you can't really do that. That's what's called misleading and deceptive conduct. Excuse me. The ACCC took the supermarket giant to court over the prices it charged on 245 common household items, including paper towel, dog food, yogurt under its prominent Down Down promotion between February 22 and May of 2023. Like they weren't already... It's not the tumor! Like they weren't already raking in billions of dollars worth of profit. They have to go and fake it. Consumer Watchdog claimed that the supermarket giant misled shoppers by jacking up the price of an item for a short time before putting it on discount. It is alleged that shoppers were paying the same or more for the products at the regular price, which made the discount fake or illusory. We took these proceedings because we were concerned that Coles' prominent pricing practices in the Down Down program were making it hard for consumers to identify genuine value for money in their purchases of essential products. Like I said, not a glamorous topic, exactly. That's basically what it boils down to. Yeah.
Stingy says, take a $5 Aussie membership, raise it slowly to $10, then offer an $8 sale. You scammer.
I forgot that I turned the text to speech on. Because it's only supposed to do that for super chats, but the channel isn't monetized, so there are no super chats. 35 made it to 33 before my doctor told me my life is over with my diagnosis. Jesus. Well, I mean, AP, at least you're still kicking. And now I feel bad. So hopefully it's going to end fake discounts by the supermarkets. That would be nice. I would like to see the end of fake discounts. Where are we? Celebrate your midlife crisis with a Gundam themed motorbike. My wife's gonna hate you. Oh, that actually looks sick. Oh, it's a model. Okay. I was gonna say, for $50? Yeah, deal. But no. Oh well. Is it Shah themed? No. Google that at the exact same time. I'll bet. Yeah. Well, you know, maybe. I want to be wild. Well, see, I've already got a motorcycle license. I had it from when I was I've been able to kick now for 5 years. Okay. Back when I was at university, I had my motorcycle license before I had my car license, and I used to ride a. Why does your bike have spiky anime wings? That would be awesome. I would totally do that. Yeah, I used to ride it to work from Warrnambool up to Camperdown, and then one winter's morning, I was riding up a hill, and a semi-trailer truck, an 18-wheeler, decided that it didn't want to wait for me, so it kind of just nudged me off the side of the road, and I went up in a ditch. Like, it could have been so much worse, but it did enough damage to the bike that I wasn't able to continue riding it, which was really upsetting. So I had to get my car license instead. So. Right. I think Jason said that I covered this already last week, but I mean, given that it's hit the press, I kind of feel really stupid not actually putting the video out last week, because I kept trying to rewrite the script for it, and it didn't fit right. but basically, there was a 14-year-old girl who was 13 at the time. 109 charges against her. She got bail. She went out. She committed more crimes. She terrorized a suburb of Melbourne, stole cars, assaulted people, all this sort of shit. It got before the magistrate. That I think it was Monday. I think it was. And the magistrate basically just looked at the prosecutor and said, we don't have a chance here. The way that the current Victorian legislation is written, she's got a get out of jail free card here. We're just done. And it's like, this is why the whole age of innocence thing needs to be on a case-by-case basis, not on a blanket, midnight on their 14th birthday thing. Because the 13 and 14-year-olds these days are significantly more sophisticated than they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, hell, 30 years ago, abso-friggin-lutely. You'd still have 12 and 13-year-olds playing with Barbie dolls in the playground. And now you've got them out terrorizing suburbs. It's like, this shit needs to actually be fixed. But then, when I was putting the video together, I thought that it would go well with the fact that there is also the whole adult time for adult crime stuff, and the fact that Ministerial Order 110 is still in place. And now that I'm thinking about it, I do think I talked about this last week, from memory. Because I'm pretty sure I brought up Ministerial Order 110. Because basically, there's a guy that there was a guy, I believe it was in New South Wales, committed some very heinous acts against his 9-year-old niece, and because he was on NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme here in Australia, he wasn't deported because he wouldn't be able to receive treatment for his mental issues if he was sent back to Sierra Leone. I'm sorry, why the fuck should we care about that? That to me is insane. Can we just make it when you enter high school, you should be able to tell the difference? Well, see, the trouble is that, like, for us here, high school, you're still looking at, I suppose, fair difference. It sort of depends on when you think a child should be able to tell right and from wrong. Because at the moment, like 13, 14, that's looking at year 6 or 7, depending. So, personally, I think that it needs to be on a case-by-case basis, on a child-by-child basis. I think that does Australia not have discretion to try as an adult? Only for very, very specific crimes, because Jacinta Allen's just rushed through some legislation here in Victoria to push it through. But for most things, if you're under the age of 14, it's basically a blanket thing that you just get a get out of jail free card. Fuck, I'm tireder than I thought I was. What'd you say? You put something in my DMs. Why do I keep getting random videos? I thought I paused that shit. Shan't be a second. Might just have to yell at Stingy. Way to make Gen X feel really old to remind us that the 80s were more than 20 years ago. Ouch. I'm assuming you sent it on Discord, because I got nothing in my other DMs. Yeah, there we go. Fuck you. The annoying thing is, I would totally do that. 5 years old is when mental capacity develops enough to know right from wrong. Well, that's just it. And I think that depending on the seriousness of the crime, I genuinely think it would be appropriate to have, I don't know, psych evals done. 2 independent psych evals done by a by child psychologists, because if the kid genuinely can show that they didn't know right from wrong, so be it. They're under the threshold for innocence. Have I finished the Titanic yet? No. No, I have not. Which is annoying because I just saw that fucking Minas Tirith Lego set for Lord of the Rings. I'm like, yeah, I kind of really feel obligated to buy and build that. But I have so much shit that I need to build model-wise. I mean, the backlog for my Gunpla is one thing. The Titanic is on display in the lounge room, and it is half finished. Like, fair dance, Mum. Sigsion. God damn it! I actually really like that bike. Oh damn it. Herald Sun on Thursday reported the result of the legal argument for dollar incapax, the legal principle that presumes a child between the ages of 10 and 14 cannot fully understand the gravity of their crimes. Prosecutors dropped the charges completely, which they shouldn't have. I mean, will not be prosecuted in the children's court and will walk away with a clear record. On March 30 this year, she allegedly attempted to strike a cyclist with the passenger door of a stolen SUV. After a brief argument between the pair, the teen allegedly drove into the rear of the cyclist and knocked him from his bike. See, that to me, those aren't the actions. Just turn it on its unfinished end and tell everyone it's sinking. I knew I should have bought the iceberg. Missed last week, which I'll need to catch up. Oh, don't stress, Glennis, but I appreciate you. Shit, what was I going to say? Shit. This is why I know I need to build my stamina back up for streaming, because not only am I losing my train of thought, I'm not keeping up with where I'm supposed to be in terms of keeping words coming out of my mouth and all that sort of shit. And I'm not sure if it's just a lack of caffeine or whatever else, but holy crap. And I've got to find the time to get back on some panels, because I need to be bantering with people again. You wouldn't realize it, but working in an office with one other grown-ass adult, it gets really quiet and really lonely. But you do at times lose the ability to hold an adult conversation. And there's only so much that listening to other people's YouTube videos can keep up with that as well. So, anyway, why am I bitching about that? Because I'm completely and utterly out of it. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I genuinely believe that she has made clear and concise decisions to attempt to run somebody over. Just because of her age, that should not immediately disqualify her from being charged. I'm sorry, that to me is an aggravating factor. If you try and run someone over and then try and reverse back over them, I think you've pretty well covered over the fact that you are trying to kill them, and that you know that doing so is wrong. Police say the teen Googled how long is a sentence for running someone over within 3 minutes of allegedly striking the cyclist. The 14-year-old was also accused of carrying out a series of anti-Semitic attacks, including swerving towards members of the Jewish community in Ripponlea 2 days before the cyclist was knocked off his bike. She had been charged with reckless conduct engendering serious injury, motor vehicle theft, and burglary. The teen was on bail at the time when these alleged offences were carried out. In court last Monday, she appeared via video link from the Youth Justice Centre, wearing a grey jumper and sat with her arms crossed. Asked by the magistrate if she could hear him, she said yes. The court heard that the teen turned 14 over the weekend and that her alleged offending all occurred when she was 13. She'd been in custody for 34 days. The magistrate told prosecutors it was obvious the teen would argue for dollar incapax. It's obvious you're dealing with a 13-year-old. The first thing that goes into your head is dolly. These kids, when they get arrested, scream at the police officers, dolly, 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 depending on how you want to do your Latin. They're aware of it. if those words come out of a teenager's mouth, they have capacity because they have to know that that's their get out of jail free card. Why the fuck else would you know those words if you did not know that that's your get out of jail free card for committing a crime? Wonder if it would be worthwhile institutionalizing kids under mental health if they're violent at a young age. I would have thought so, but to be perfectly honest, I feel like we need to bring asylums back anyway. We've got enough crazy shit going on in the world that I think we're okay to reopen mental institutions at this point. So, the Google search proves she knows right from wrong. There is that too. The date to hear arguments for Dollar Incapax was set down for Monday, the 18th of May. Prosecutors dropped the charges instead. Charge sheet provided to news.com.au shows that she allegedly stole a car valued at $30,000 from a home in Caulfield North. On the same day, she also allegedly stole license plates from a vehicle in the Berwick area. A day later, on March 26, she was accused of stealing another $30,000 car from Camberwell. On March 28, she was accused of driving recklessly towards a person in Hampton that placed him in danger. In Elsternwick on the same day, she was accused of behaving in an offensive manner in a public place, using profane language in a public place, and recklessly engaging in conduct, driving recklessly engaging in conduct driving in a manner which endangered life. Police said that on the same day, she threatened physical harm towards a group of namely Jewish people. The next day, on March 29, police said she stole $70 worth of petrol from a 7-Eleven and stole another $30,000 car. She trespassed into a Snap Fitness with the intent to steal and stole a second car valued at $15,000. Hustle along to hit a bike. On March 30th, she was accused of opening a door on a cyclist and intentionally running them over. She then Googled how long's a sentence for running someone over within 3 minutes. She was accused of stealing another car the same day. This is in no way someone that does not understand what they are doing. I'm sorry. There's no way in hell she doesn't understand. Like, it's a crock of shit. It really is. I'm just not sure if it's still worth making a video on it, though. God, look at that face. You miss watching me build Lego? 'Twas a simpler time, Glennis. I'm not gonna lie. 'Twas a simpler time. I get nostalgic for the days when I used to sit and rip open Pokemon card packs and build shit and, like, you know. The good old days. Cognizant and premeditated? Yep. Exactly. Yeah, how much are they spend? So they're going to spend $134,000 to build a statue of Daniel Andrews. Under a policy introduced by the Kennett government, Victorian premiers who serve more than 3,000 days in office are recognised with a statue in Treasury Place to honour their service to the state. Been lovely seeing you back online. Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm trying. Now you know why people start talking to themselves. No other intelligent life around. Well, see, it's not usually a problem if you talk to yourself. It's when you start talking back that it becomes an issue. I think it's worth making a video on it because 3 paragraphs down tell us a boy that was let off when he faced 388 charges. Yeah, I got to be careful because the other cases. So there was the Declan Cutter case. That was the kid that was stabbed to death not long ago, and a 13-year-old got off on the charges there. But he was one of like 6, and then the other one, the one with the 388 charges, that was what was his name? Oh, that's right. He was under the age, so they didn't let anyone know. But the 388 charges, they ranged from criminal mischief to I can't remember if it was actually worth covering it or not. Yeah, and then you got the girls in Mildura that decided it'd be a good idea to bash another girl. So what did I say in the one for that? There's 109 challenges. Oh, and then I did so I did a video on Androgynic getting arrested, and I was ready to flame his ass like there was no tomorrow. But then I went back and watched why he got arrested, and I was like, fuck, there's a good chance that I would have gotten involved in that too. And I probably would have acted the same way he acted, so I can't really make fun of the fact that his macho attitude is getting torn apart here because he's getting arrested and it's sort of ruining his aura or whatever you want to call it. What they say in the video? We're not mogging anymore. And what I'm saying is that is proof that if you're going to research something, don't just look at what's happening at that time. Make sure you go back and look at the initiating incident as well. Oh, fuck, that was funny. Make asylums great again. Yep. If they're in a stolen car, they should be charged. Yes. I think that if you're old enough to make those sorts of decisions, you should absolutely be held accountable for your your actions. Shit, what was it? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, oh, sorry. It was the Cutler case that I was thinking of. CCTV captured a 13-year-old boy stomping on the dying boy's head while the rest of the pack stabbed him 56 times. The 13-year-old walked away. The other ones got charged with murder. Supreme Court Justice at the time looked at the evidence, the expert psych reports, and found that the state couldn't prove beyond reasonable doubt that the boy knew his actions were seriously morally wrong. Now, see, in that instance, at least they had psych reports. At least there was an investigation into whether or not it was believed that the kid understood what they were doing at the time. I don't think that it should be a blanket, oh, you were under the age, out the door you go. I think that's fairly straightforward. Crime stats from 2025, minors committed 57.6 of all carjackings in Victoria. Like, that's insane. As well as 52.6% of home invasions, 47.8% of aggravated burglaries, 62.4% of robberies. Now, admittedly, that's anyone under the age of 17 is within those in those categories, but still. Make Australia a world prison again? It already feels like we're there. It's just that we've got no. You know what it is? Australia feels like an asylum, but the patients are running it. So. The Youth Justice Act of 2024 raised the minimum age of criminal responsibility to 12, and then for good measure codified the old common law dollying packs for every 12 to 13-year-old in Victoria. Sections 10, 11, and Chapter 19 kicked in on 30 September 2025. The irrebuttable presumption for under 12 is locked into statute, with the rebuttable presumption for 12 and 13-year-olds now written into the Act with the same impossible-to-meet standard that the High Court laid down in RPV the Queen in 2016. Is there an argument for government taking children from their parents here? Where are the parents? That's a damn good question. I mean, she knows exactly what she's doing. Yeah. The trouble is that obviously we start getting into the other sticky situation this as well that no one wants to talk about because no one wants to get called racist. In that a lot of these kids are being raised from cultures where this sort of shit is tolerated. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know that in a predominantly Anglo-European area, you're going to get machete gangs, if that makes sense. You might get some greasers. As for the government taking the kids away, I don't know if it's going to be of any benefit, honestly. under RP and the Queen, the test the prosecution must prove beyond reasonable doubt that the child knew that the conduct was seriously wrong in a moral sense, not just naughty, not just against the rules, but gravely wrong by ordinary adult standards. The act itself cannot be used to infer that knowledge. Expert evidence about trauma, ADHD, family dysfunction, low IQ, or pre-conventional moral reasoning are almost always used to create some reasonable doubt. So pretty much as soon as it comes in to say, as soon as someone basically comes in and says, well, we think that there's a chance that this kid had no idea what they were doing, and here's a psychologist report to say why, it almost immediately creates enough reasonable doubt that they can get away with this, because it is a ridiculously high standard that the High Court created. The onus is on the Crown, and the bar is set so high that even kids with triple-digit charge sheets routinely walk. The same doctrine that was meant to protect bewildered 10-year-olds in the 1800s is now shielding calculated repeat offenders in 2026. In December of 2025, Allen passed the Justice Legislation Amendment Act. For 14-year-olds and up on aggravated home invasion, carjacking, or gross violence with a machete, the case now goes straight to an adult county court. Jail is no longer the last resort. They also tightened bail with the Bail Amendment Act, so repeat offenders can't just stroll out laughing. Well, they still really are now that I think about it. On paper, it sounded like someone had finally taken the keys away from the clowns, except the kids are still walking. Reoffending rates haven't dropped, the teen machete gangs are still out there, and the break-ins haven't stopped. Yeah, and then I went on to the stuff about how immigration plays into it as well. And I think I might need to take that out. I don't think I necessarily need to leave that in, frankly. But the whole thing about Ministerial Directive 110 pisses me the fuck off. It really does. But we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out. Oh, check this out. Yeah. So some weird-ass woman, 28-year-old, pretended to be a teenager to go into high schools and sell Botox to kids. A baby-faced 28-year-old woman has been arrested on suspicion of infiltrating a top New York high school, allegedly posing as a teenage girl and mixing with young, impressionable minds for weeks, and she's pled not guilty. What, by reason of insanity? If she did infiltrate as accused, how did she get in? Why that school? Who is she and what does she have planned? The questions have, until now, been largely met with silence. The alleged stunt is eerily similar to the plot of Never Been Kissed, the 1999 movie starring Drew Barrymore, where she plays an insecure 25-year-old copy editor for the Chicago Times who returns to high school for an assignment and falls in love with her English teacher. But Klassen isn't a reporter. She's a divorced mother of one with roots in Kansas who inexplicably traveled from Midwestern suburbia to the Bronx High School, where she's accused of pretending to be a 16-year-old girl. Just out of curiosity, in what fucking universe does she pass for 16? Kaiser? She claimed to the arresting officers that she'd fled an abusive marriage and that in the past she'd struggled with an eating disorder that landed her in a psych ward. Her unfolding story began at 9 months when she was adopted by Brenda and James Klassen, who were devout Christians. James was a manager of the local Great Plains Christian radio, a station that played hymns and Bible passages. Where's the rusty knife? I have no clue. On social media, she makes far-fetched claims about her upbringing. She once alleged that they kicked her out of the family home after discovering she was pregnant by a secret boyfriend. My parents are going to... Okay, so she's an attention whore. Death by Botox injections around her mouth, too cruel or perfect justice. I mean, I'd be okay with it. Don't want to be homeless and pregnant. I wish, or rather wish, that there was someone some family or person that would love me and care for me and help me, she wrote in a now deleted Facebook post from 2021. God damn, I just had to put together that 2021 is long enough ago that she could have been young enough to still be living with her parents. Holy fuckballs. Oh, chat, help me with this. I'm not doing well. I'm not dealing well with this shit. It'll be the universe where you need glasses. Well, I'm starting to think I need them anyway. She did have a baby around the time, a girl who would later lose custody amid a nasty divorce. Her ex-husband, Kenneth Alt, tells the Daily Mail she lost custody of her daughter in 2023 when the child was 2. He says she was placed in the care of Classen's parents. It's unclear whose care she's in now. I was her stepfather and I don't get to see her. I loved Casey and I loved her daughter more than anything. I'm not a perfect person, but that little girl was my absolute world. Aww. Grew up in the system myself, so I understand what that's like. Oh, that sucks. Um, uh, why are they going through all this history? I don't care about any of this. I want to know how she tried to... In 2023, she took a job working as an aide for developmental services in northern Kansas, where she assisted adults with mental disabilities. Takes one to know one, I guess. 2025, she suddenly quit her job working with disabled adults and stopped communicating with her ex. He learned through a mutual friend that in March this year, she traveled to Hope Mills, North Carolina to meet up with someone she met online, then understood to have taken a bus to New York City. She was arrested on April 27, accused of enrolling in a school with fake documents and posing as a 16-year-old girl, Shamara Rashad. Look, I understand, ladies, that Botox can be seen as a cure-all, but how the hell did she get rid of the turkey neck? Just remember, Gundam Seed is 25 years old next year. Fuck you. Long day with some big emotions. No wonder you're tired and exhausted. Well, it's not just a long day, a long week, but must build up resilience. Must build up whatever else. I need to get back into doing this. That's what I need to do. You guys are my therapists, if nothing else. So, had a little musing that she thinks she could do something like that, he said. I have no ill will towards her and hope she gets the help she needs. A bizarre alleged scheme unraveled when the school's social worker became suspicious and school staff discovered a Facebook account that belonged to Klassen, which showed the student was actually an adult woman. In the meantime, students were also growing suspicious. Well, I mean, when she's sitting in the back of the class fanning herself off going through a hot flush, I can kind of understand why they get a little bit suspicious. Evangelion's 31 years old. Fuck. The barbecue sauce you sent me is 30 years old too. Like when people state the age of the PS1, 2, and 3. Oh, I know. Think about it this way. We're not that long away, we're not that far away from them starting to call PS4 retro gaming. Like, yeah. I saw her in the back of the class doing her work, said a sophomore. She's just acting like a student. She was asking the teachers questions like anybody. Prosecutors say she enrolled in April, telling school officials she'd recently moved from Ohio to New York with her sister. The academy has about 400 students. She was arrested on April 27th and arraigned the following day at Bronx Criminal Court. Prosecutors have charged her with endangering the welfare of a child, criminal impersonation, possession of forged instruments, and criminal trespassing, and she's pled not guilty. On the day of her arrest, I swear to God there was an episode of SVU where this whole happened, right? We'll get old man Aussie before we get GTA 6. Fuck. Find something you're more interested in. Kate, I do my best. Like, I scour the internet for shit that I want to talk about. And somehow I keep circling around the same topics, and they're not anything that I think that any of them are going to be... They're not anything that I think any of you are going to give a shit about. The world is right again, Aussie in the morning. Hello, Cheesehead, lost on Bourbon Street. Good to see you. If you can't tell, just throw a funnel web or something at them. Oh yeah, that'll work. I don't understand how she thought she'd get away with this, though. According to the report, she spent 2 weeks inside the school before administrators grew suspicious and contacted police. Officials have not publicly said what her motive was. On the 5th of May, the School Academy held a town hall briefing for the students, and families received an email on the same day from the principal saying a deeper police investigation was ongoing. Students enrolled at the academy through one of the Doe's Family Welcome Centers. What? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck that means. For those of you just coming in, apparently this 28-year-old thought she could pass for 16. Remember that episode? They struggled to find her real identity for a bit. I just remember her being on the stand and, like, talking about it. And there've been other cases like this, including men who've pretended to be kids. That's just batshit crazy to me. I mean, I don't quite know why I'm trying to make any sort of sense out of this. The woman is clearly insane. Got anything else good here before I crash out? Anne Hathaway reveals what she loves most about working with Aussie actors. Oh, I suppose at some point in the next week I'll try and talk about the Rebel Wilson case. I don't know if anyone's going to give a shit, but apparently Rebel Wilson got into a defamation case with some of the staff members that were working on the movie The Deb. That's just gone to federal court here, and they've had closing arguments. It'll probably still be another month to 2 before we get a judgment. I don't know how that's going to pan out. Would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you damn kids. Yep. Hey, Island. Looks like her face would fall out if she sneezed. It's just, you know, I don't see why you would think you would get away with it, honestly. Don't really care. Vera Wang. 76. Damn. Sydney Sweeney is gyrated on by Scooter Braun. Has anyone been paying attention to the Euphoria shit? I see it popping up on my timeline every now and then. I'm not sure I could really give a shit, but I understand that you get to see Sydney Sweeney's tits. I don't know. I don't know if they've deliberately put her in that character in Euphoria to ruin her for, like, the trad men that are interested in her or whatever else. The whole, oh, she's doing OnlyFans in the show and doing, like, puppy play content and all this sort of shit. Yes, I'm well aware that I don't know anything about this show and yet somehow know all about that. That's just the shit that randomly shows up in snippets on my X feed. I'm just wondering if they've deliberately cast her in that role in order to ruin her image, in my personal opinion. I don't really know. But, Travis Kelce makes awkward confession, don't care. Sports legend looks unrecognizable, don't care. Oh crap! All right. Sorry, folks. I'm fading fast. Discovery Channel reality star arrested for stalking and criminal tampering. Oh, and what the hell was with fucking Pedro Pascal kissing? Was it Colbert? Or was it somebody else? I don't know. Don't watch Euphoria, I only see snippets too, but the impression I get is it's commentary on OnlyFans models. I think so, but I think it's also like, I don't know. I kind of feel like they're also wrapping it in to try and ruin her image as well. I'm not quite sure why. That's just sort of how I feel about it. But yeah. All right. Oh, all right, folks. Hour and a half. I think I'm gonna have to call it. It's almost 11:15 here now. It was to promote Mandalorian and Grogu. Gross. Unlike the left, most of the right get the movies aren't real. This is true. Yes, Pedro is gay in my opinion as well. Anyway, I'm going to try and do some more this weekend. Sunday, my time, I don't know if I'll be able to stream it, but we're planning a trip out to USA Foods. So if you've got any ideas for things that it might be worth me trying, feel free to hit me up in the Discord and give a list or something like that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure if I'll be able to stream it. The whole not having Lady Overlaw'd on camera anymore makes things a little bit more difficult. Lady Overlaw'd actually wants to do more streams with me, but that's going to have to be down the track after we've sorted everything out with court cases and various other bits and pieces. So, but I'm going to go on Crash. If you have any ideas for stories or anything you'd like me to see turn into videos, or if you have any questions or anything, feel free to hit me up on X, Twitter, night or morning. Let's see. If I go Sunday, technically it'll be like late night Saturday US time, I think. I'll work out the timing and I'll post it, okay? Yeah, we'll go from there. All right, folks. I'm really hoping I'm going to build up my stamina again for this, because holy crap. Anyway, thank you so much for keeping me company. As always, please remember, you are not a piece of shit. You have value and do contribute to society, especially by being here and keeping me company while I muddle my way back on the line. So, as always, stay healthy, wealthy, wise, people, and I'll catch you all very, very soon. Cheers, babes. Where's the button? Damn it, I've got to fix the fucking Stream Deck so that I can just press the button.
And again, on your way out, please do me the favor of hit the like and subscribe button if you're so inclined. It costs nothing. It's absolutely free. And we'll be friends forever. Bye now.
Where the fuck has it pulled all those names from? There is no way in hell there were that many people that were watching this stream. What the fuck? All the names since on the all the streams since upgrade. I have no idea. I'm assuming it. No, well, because there were names there that I didn't recognize. So unless it's kept all the ones there from when I was fucking around with. Oh, that's what it'll have been. Because I was using other people's live streams while I was playing around with Social Stream to try and make it work. And yeah, okay, never mind. I'm just gonna play the outro and hopefully I can work out how to reset that.
Dance, monkey. Dance for your $1.
I will gladly, once we pass through the 900 hours that I still need to do on this channel. But anyway, I'm just going to go straight to the outro. Thanks, peeps. Wherever the button is. There it is.
This shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.